Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back in for another Halo 5 jump video. In today's video we're going to be covering the map Fissure, which is in the competitive rotation in the solo duo queue playlist. In the last video we covered the Furnace, which is in the FFA playlist. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, that way you know when my videos are going to be going live. Also make sure to leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comments what you liked about the video and what you didn't like. If you got any ideas as well, let me know, or other maps you'd like to see me cover. Also guys, I stream over on Twitch. If you'd like to come check out some of my streams, I'll leave my channel link in the description. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright guys, jumping straight in, yeah, so I've spawned at red side, so I'm basically just going to be showing you jumps on Fissure. So I'm just going to start randomly, so these are not in order. So if you come down red basement and you see this ramp here, so if you run up this ramp and you get right to the top, and then you can do a kneecap off this and then get straight up here. So that should look like this. There you go, so that's a pretty quick way to get from that ramp down there up here. Also, so from red switch or red door or whatever your preferred call out for that, instead of clambering this, you know, or crouch jumping up to there, or, you know, spring jumping up here, what you can actually do is you can actually do a kneecap on the bottom. So to hit the kneecap off the bottom of this here, what you've got to do is you have to jump and you basically hold crouch as you're jumping towards it, and when you reach the correct height you let go of crouch, and then you do your kneecap. So obviously, because you're not holding sprint anymore, you don't get as much momentum as you would if you was, you know, doing a full sprint kneecap. But that's probably the quickest way to get up there. Like I say, other than that, you can do a spring jump up the front. Also, if you was down here, what you can actually do is on this ramp here, if you do a kneecap right at the edge, you should be able to land straight on there like this. There you go, that's what it looks like. This jump from Red Cross works by doing a kneecap right on the opposite end of the ramp at the top, and that way you can land on that slanted ledge or platform. That way you can get up up to that top of the lift very quickly, like this. But also in this area, you have the top of these, right? So you've got these ramps, yeah? So the obvious one is if you on top of here and just do a crouch jump onto the top of this. There you go, just like that. Whereas this is easy, you know, this one's easy to get on, right? So obviously when you're up there, you know, you've got cover with this triangle from people like this side, and you've got a sight line down here to top mid. And you can also see over here. So the other ones are different. So to get on top of the other ones, what you've got to do, you've actually got to do a kneecap off of this to be able to get up. So an easy one for you guys to try is here, because this one, you know, is already touching the ground, so you don't have to jump into it. You can just thrust, you know, into this kneecap. There you go, that's what it looks like. So, like I say, you just run up this ramp, thrust before you hit it, and that is basically what a kneecap is on Halo 5. It's a thrust kneecap, and then you just keep tapping jump, and then hold crouch to land, and then you should get to do this jump. You know, you're running up this ramp, and you don't need to jump into that ramp. You just thrust before it, and then you'll get a kneecap onto the top of that pillar like this. And you can just sit up there and you know you can watch top of the lift, or you can watch down here. But another jump I wanted to mention here on red cross or blue cross, what you can actually do is if you run around this corner close to this edge here and you jump, if you jump around here, you know, at the end of this, and you do a kneecap as close as you can to this wall off this ramp, what you can actually do is you can kneecap off this and you can actually curve around here and just clamber this platform, and I'll show you what that looks like now. There you go, that is what that looks like. So basically what you want to do is when you're running around here, you want to jump from about here, and then you want to kneecap just before the end, otherwise you won't be able to jump. And then you want to stabilize as close as you can to the wall, and then you should be able to clamber. So here I'm jumping before the ramp, and then I'm kneecapping the top, and I'm keeping as close as I can to the wall, and then I'm just stabilizing, you know, to clear the landing. Another way you can actually do a kneecap to get around this corner and clamber that ledge. So you run up this ramp, you jump onto this little wall here, and you want to do a kneecap. You want to do a kneecap off this corner, and you can reach the height to get up there as well. So obviously what the good thing about Fissure is, there's multiple different ways to do one jump, so that's always a good thing. So this is what it looks like. And that is what it looked like from doing a kneecap off this little corner. So like I say, what you want to do is you want to run around this corner, jump onto this ramp as close as you can here so you've got speed, and pretty much as soon as you start running you want to thrust so that you can hit this kneecap, and then you want to stabilize to clear the landing. Remember, hold crouch and then clamber as well. So this is what the last variation to get up to the top of the lift looks like in third person. As you can see, when I run up this ramp and I jump onto this wall, you run across for like a split second and then you thrust, and then you get the kneecap, and then you stabilize to clear the landing. Right, so another thing you can do from red room at the start of the game or blue room, this works on both sides. What you can actually do is you can kneecap the edge of this, and you can land over here, and you can also kneecap these rocks and land up top of treehouse as well. So I'll show you what that looks like. There you go. So that's from red door to blue platform. And then, like I said, you can thrust off the rocks up to treehouse. Something else I wanted to show you, this works on both sides. This works in red basement and blue's basement. So what you can actually do is, if you run around this corner and you jump here, so basically what you're trying to do is you want to do a high kneecap. So a high kneecap, you would jump and hold crouch in the air, and when you reach the height of the kneecap you uncrouch and then you do your kneecap, you thrust, whatnot. So what you can actually do is you can jump and turn 90 degrees, kneecap this, and then land up here. There you go, that's what it should look like. So if you hit it perfectly, if you curve around the corner and then jump and crouch at the right height and you hit your kneecap, you should be able to kneecap straight up without clambering. The high kneecap from red basement looks like in third person. So as you can see, I do it with a clamber there. So that's the easy way, but if you want to do it without a clamber, it's actually really difficult. I mean, feel free to try. So something else worth mentioning, so this is the same on blue one and red one. So what you can actually do, this wall, so if you're right in the corner, you can actually spring jump up this wall. Also, I'm pretty sure you can do a stabilize. Yeah, there you go. So you can do a stabilize as well. I'd just like to mention before we carry on, yeah, I don't really do many stabilization jumps. Somebody called me out and said some of these jumps you can do with stabilization, you know, instead of springs. I do understand this, but for me, I prefer to do springs. I find them easier, so that's just my preference. So another one to mention, if you're down here at red one or blue one, another thing you can do, so obviously I showed you can just spring jump up there, you can do a stabilize jump up there, right? Or you can clamber twice, you know, you can clamber once and then jump up here. But what you can actually do, so say in this corner you're hiding from someone, whatnot, and you just regain your shields, what you can actually do is if you sprint from here, you can kneecap the bottom of this and you can land straight up at the top of that wall, like this. Right, so another one you can do this from red 2 or blue 2. So this is similar to what I showed you before, where I use this, the side of this, to get up this way. What you can actually do, this is a bit easier, is if you're running down this ramp, you can thrust into the bottom of it and you can get straight into this window. So this works from blue 1 or red 1. What you can actually do is if you jump around here and you do a kneecap off this, you can actually get up, you can actually clamber the middle and get up to the center. There you go, so that's what it should look like. So actually when I do the kneecap, I stop sprinting and I just do, you know, a static kneecap. So I don't have sprint activated, so I sprint, I jump in the air, and then I stop sprinting and I just do the kneecap. And then you should just go upwards instead of forwards as well. Alright, so back at red 2, so this also works at blue 2. So what you can actually do is this platform here. Normally you jump off it and you clamber to get up to treehouse. But what you can actually do off this platform to get up to treehouse is you could either do a spring thrust and get straight up like that, or you can do a kneecap. It's honestly up to you. There's not much difference in it apart from obviously a spring thrust, you land on the platform and then spring and thrust, or you do a kneecap off the edge of it. And this is probably this is a really easy kneecap. You know, you jump, you know, relatively close to it, and then yeah. So that's two ways to get up to red treehouse from red 2. So there's actually a third way, and this is a lot harder. So this involves doing a high kneecap, like I was showing you before, but this is like a high, you know, like really high kneecap. So I'm just gonna show you how to do this one now. So basically, you run through here. So you run through this door on red 2, yeah, and this wall, this little wall here. What you want to do is you want to jump out. You want to hold crouch and you want to turn 90 degrees and you want to do a kneecap off the top of this and land upon treehouse. And this works on blue side as well. And it should look like this. There you go. So if you hit it perfect, you can actually do the high kneecap up here without actually clambering. But obviously that's a lot harder because you've got to hit the kneecap perfect to be able to do that. So what you want to do is when you're doing your kneecap, you want to aim for the corner. That seems to be the most consistent that seems to be the spot that gives you the most consistent kneecap to get up to this treehouse. This one here is the high kneecap to treehouse, right? And this is what it looks like. So, a way you can get up to treehouse from top mid. So what you can actually do is you can kneecap off the top of this wall here, and you can do a wall tap, and that will land you up to treehouse. So if you hit the kneecap and the wall tap perfect, you can actually get up to treehouse as well without a clamber. This is by no means necessary. Like I say, it's probably the safest way to get up with clamber, but obviously if you want to do this in your spare time, perfect it, you can definitely get up there without clamber. And you can do it also, you can also do it on this side of the map, but this side is actually harder to do it because, as you can see, there is this rock protruding out, and when you do the kneecap and you do the wall tap, you hit your head on this rock. So you're more likely to do this side with a clamber, and this side is easier to do it without a clamber. So that is what it looks like from top mid to blue treehouse. So as you can see, I did the kneecap and I did a wall tap, very clean, and didn't need to do a clamber to get up to reach my landing spot. So just to explain how this works, so when you jump from top mid, what you want to be doing is you want to be jumping really late off this platform, and then just as you landed near the top, you want to aim for this corner, this left corner, not this right corner, this left corner. And when you're aiming for this corner, that's when you do your kneecap, and then you should just hit this wall around here, and then basically you either just want to hold crouch if you feel like you're going to do it, you know, without clamber, or just get ready to, you know, press jump if you need to, if you play hold to clamber like me. Jump here, this kneecap wall tap, this works on both sides. So this is what it looks like in third person on blue side. So another one to mention, this is also from top mid. So what you can actually do is this railing or this wall or this barrier, whatever you want to class this as, right? You can actually do a kneecap off this, and you can get up to top treehouse. And you can do this on both sides. There you go, and that is what it should look like. That was from top mid to red treehouse from kneecapping this wall. So in this third angle, I'm going to show you the jump from top mid up to treehouse. So another one I wanted to mention from the top mid. So instead of hitting this top wall and doing a kneecap up to treehouse, what you can actually do is, if you jump earlier and you fly over this wall, you can actually kneecap this bottom wall and land underneath the lift. There you are. That's what it looks like from the bottom wall, or the bottom ledge, railing, whatever you'd like to call it, to blue underpass or red underpass. That's what it looks like. So you jump from top mid over this wall, yeah. So you jump early, and then you want to do a kneecap off the bottom one, and you should get the distance to be able to clamber this platform. So with this jump, this third person angle here, I'm jumping over the top wall, and I'm doing a kneecap off the bottom wall, and I'm landing at the bottom of basement without doing a clamber, basically. now that we're down at Blue Underpass, a jump I want to show you from here. So everybody must be wondering, right? Yeah. Instead of going up the lift, yeah, how do I get over this way? How do I get over to this platform, or how do I get over to this platform, right? So what you can actually do is, this only works on blue side, by the way. Yes, you can hit a clamber on the red side, but it's a lot more difficult because there is an invisible barrier around here on the red side, but there isn't on the blue side. And you know that you're able to do it on this side because if you zoom in, you should be able to see a part of this wall clipping through this wall, through this rock even. So what you want to do is you want to jump. If you want to sprint, jump, thrust, and you want to stabilize, and then get teabag or gandy a little bit, and around this bit here there'll be a clamber, and then when you clamber this, you wait for a second, and then you can jump over to this platform. So this is what it looks like. There you go. So okay, so this is the third person angle for to the platform up there. So as you can see, when I jump over and I do the ghost clamber, you want to jump out of the ghost clamber like rather quickly, like immediately, to be able to reach the platform without thrusting. So with this clamber spot, what you can actually do as well is, if you do a clamber here, there's a little juggle, and you can actually do a spring off the juggle and you can get round to this platform, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. There we are. That is what it looks like. So like I say, you sprint, jump, thrust around here, you get a clamber, and on the clamber you wait a second, and then just up here there's a little spot you can do a juggle on. So I do a juggle on that once to recharge my thrust, and then as I'm coming back down I do a spring and I curve around the corner, and then I thrust and hit the clamber, you know, to land on the platform. There you go, just hit it again like that. So that is what it looks like. So this third person angle is when I do the ghost clamber, and then I do a juggle to a spring, and then I thrust to clear the landing onto that platform opposite treehouse. See, I do the juggle there into a spring, and then I thrust around that corner to clear the landing. So also to mention, there's actually, on that juggle you can actually stand on it. So if you get the correct momentum from the first clamber, you can actually stand on that little spot. So I'll show you what that looks like now. Like I say, once again, I'd just like to mention that these only work on the blue side. Like I said, the red side works a lot differently because of the it's got a blocker here, invisible wall or whatever you'd like to call them. So obviously you have to clamber lower and it doesn't work very well. There you go. So you can stand here if you jump out of the ghost perfectly, you get the correct height, you can land here on the edge. So, you know, obviously from here you can just jump over to wherever you like. So basically this is showing you that when you do this ghost clamber, if you wait a second, there's a little spot you can stand. So that little spot that I'm stood in there, so either you can you know, depending on your momentum when you jump into it from this from this ghost clamber here, right? If you got too much momentum, you're just going to touch it, and then you either do a juggle off it, you know, and then come back, or jump around the corner like I did with the spring, or you're going to fall to your death. So to land in, you know, to land in the little spot perfect, what you need to do is you need to get into this first ghost, right? And then you need to jump out of that as late as you can. And basically, if you barely reach the height to get onto that little ledge, your feet, you know, your feet will just clip onto it and you'll be able to stand there. Thing I wanted to show you with the clamber, right? So what you can actually do is if you're in a gunfight here in this doorway and you want to actually take cover from the gunfight, you can actually jump out here, hit the clamber, and then jump straight back in the action. So that'll really put your opponent off if you can hit that. So chances are that this person is gonna think you just jumped off the map, you know, and you've gave them a free kill. And then obviously you can catch them off guard. Maybe they decide they want to jump up here and you can come behind them, or you know, they decide to turn around and go down here. Either way, they've turned away from the gunfight, and obviously you can come back and then finish them off. To show you a third here, what it looks like from the door, jumping out and getting this ghost clamber and then jumping back. So like I said, if you manage to pull this off in a gunfight, this is going to be a huge advantage. Because alright guys, I think that is everything I wanted to cover in this fissure breakdown jump video. So we just, you know, hopefully you learned some new jumps today on fissure, and hopefully these jumps can help you out in arena. And I will see you all in the next one, guys.